Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Juventus vs. Porto B match report. As you all know, 2 weeks ago, Porto B managed to defeat Juventus with a 2-1 score at the Estadio do Durago. Was Juventus this evening able to defeat Porto B with a good enough score to form an overall aggregate score for its advantage and advance in the UEFA Champions League tournament, or did it fail to recover against Porto B due to Porto B maintaining its victory, causing Juventus to drop from the championship tournament at the same stage as last year's tournament? Let's take a look at what went down at the Allianz Stadium. In the 70th minute of the match, Demiral knocked down Mehdi Taremi in Juventus' penalty area. This, of course, instigated a penalty shot for Porto B's advantage, which Sergio Oliveira took to score Porto B's first goal within the match. Despite Juventus having the most possession over the ball, Porto B, through its very strict defense in the midfield, let alone near its penalty area, made it very difficult for Juventus to score in the first half, which is why it relied sometimes on long-range passes to get the ball to Cuadrado, who couldn't finish off these offensive attempts into goals due to their defensive alignment near the goal. Juventus, without long-range passes, faced difficulty in making it into Porto B's penalty area due to Porto B's dense defensive alignment within their turf, and whenever they did actually manage to make it into Porto B's penalty area, they couldn't score a goal due to, again, Porto B's very powerful defensive protection and goalkeeper Marchesin's saves. Porto B managed to regain the ball from Juventus a number of times, such as via rebounds, and put in offense, such as at the hands of Marega and Otavio, but they couldn't score due to Juventus' defensive protection. Porto B nearly scored, though, a few of these times due to Juventus being slow to fall back and protect their penalty area, but to their credit, they did manage a few times to save their net from these goals. But it is also worth mentioning that goalkeeper Szczęsny managed to make critical saves. The first half ended with a 1-0 lead for Porto B over Juventus. During the second half, in the 49th minute of the match, Bonucci made a long-range pass into Porto B's penalty area. Ronaldo received the pass, but maneuvered the ball a bit to Chiesa, who shot the ball in the upper angle of the goal, scoring Juventus' first goal within the match. In the 53rd minute of the match, Mehdi Taremi received a red card and got kicked out of the match despite Marega committing the penalty. In the 63rd minute of the match, Cuadrado shot the ball into Porto B's penalty area. Chiesa met the ball with a headshot and finished off Juventus' second goal within the match. The second half ended with a 2-1 lead for Juventus over Porto B. In the second half, Juventus managed to make it more into Porto B's penalty area as the severity of Porto B's defense lessened partially due to them leaving more open spaces, which allowed Juventus to make it more into Porto B's penalty area and score the 2 goals that they managed to score. However, Juventus didn't score as much as they should have due to the misdirected shots and passes and overall their failure to finish off these offensive attempts into goals. Not to mention saves from goalkeeper Marchensi. It's not to say that Porto B did not put offense, as they did at the hands of Marega, but those attempts were very few compared to the first half. In addition, Juventus was more successful in the second half at reducing Porto B's possession of the ball and preventing them as much as possible from gaining it. Due to the overall aggregate score between the two being a 3-3 draw, the match was forced to go into additional time. In the 15th minutes of the match, in the first 15 minutes of the match, both teams displayed equal performance as they were both quick and forceful on the offense, to where they both gained the ball well and made it into each other's penalty areas. In addition, they both fell quickly back to protect their penalty areas. In the second 15-minute half, though, it felt like Juventus went back to having more control on the offense, but overall, in the second and first halves of the additional time, they just had that issue of failing to turn these offensive attempts into Porto B's penalty area into finishing goals. To Porto B's credit, though, some of it is due to goalkeeper Marchensi's saves and Porto B's defensive protection, but it was mostly due to Juventus' failure from to form these finishes and their misdirected shots. In the second 15-minute interval, though, Porto B managed to gain a free kick, which Oliveira shot, making it through the defensive wall from between the legs of the players, forming the wall towards the goal. However, goalkeeper Szczesny blocked the ball with his hands, causing it to go in and result in the Porto B's second goal within the match. However, a few minutes later, Bernardeschi took a corner shot for Juventus, where he shot the ball into Porto B's penalty area. Rabiot met the ball with a headshot to finish off Juventus' third goal within the match. The match ended with a 3-2 victory for Juventus over Porto B, but the overall aggregate score was a 4-4 draw. However, due to Porto B being able to score the overall most goals in the opposing team's field, the overall victory by default goes to Porto B, allowing it to advance to the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. Juventus really tried its best to win the overall encounter against Porto B through its persistent offense at the hands of Ronaldo, Morata, Chiesa, but they failed to make the final finish, which caused them to drop from the tournament at the same stage as last year's tournament, the same way against Lyon last year. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've liked this video, please drop a like and subscribe. Share the video around with the hashtag Skeleton Force. As you all know, I've been Skeleton Force. And as always, I will see you all in the next report.